Hello, students. I hope you all are safe and in good health. I am Anme Pine, and from today onwards, I will take your geography classes. As I have been informed that first chapter is already been completed, so today I will start my class with the second chapter, that is the structure of the earth. You all know about the things you see on the surface of the earth, right? That is different types of landform features and everything else what you can see is there on the surface of the earth. But have you wondered that how the earth looks from inside? And have you thought that is it possible to reach the interior of the earth? So, if you have that curiosity to know about the structure of the earth, you will get your answers from this chapter. The structure of the earth, when we start the structure of the earth, first we have to know that the earth is divided into three concentric circles, layers. Okay, that is, it is divided into three concentric layers, that is crust, mantle, and core. So, if you open your book, page number 102, and if you see the diagram given there of earth, that is, there you can see that the earth is divided into three layers, that is the crust, mantle, and core. And there again you can see the division of core as liquid outer core and solid inner core, right? The crust is the outermost layer of the earth's surface. As you can see in the diagram, the crust is the outermost layer. The mantle is the layer below the crust. That is, mantle lies between the crust and the outer core. That is core, right? That mantle lies between crust and core. And the core is the innermost layer of the earth. So, now we will now discuss one of these all the three layers of the earth one by one. Okay, so now again one question arises, that how do we get the information about the earth's interior, right? We can't go inside the earth and see what the layers are, but what are the ways that from where we can come to know about the earth's interior? So you must have faced the earthquake. When there is an earthquake, you must have felt that shaking feeling, right? So the earth shakes for some seconds, and the earthquake is measured in the Richter scale, and the shaking, it depends on the magnitude. What is the magnitude with which the earthquake has happened? So, in the same way, the scientists study the seismic waves that are produced during the earthquake, and they come to know about the structure of the earth from inside, the interior of the earth, right? Then there are volcanic eruptions, and again there are deep mines. When the mines are dug very deep inside the earth, from there also, if the scientists study, they come to know about the different layers of the earth. Now we will move ahead, and now we will start with the first layer, that is the crust. The crust is the outermost layer of the earth's surface, and the thickness of crust varies from 5 to 8 kilometer, that is beneath the oceans, and 35 kilometers under the continental landmass. You know that earth is divided into continents and oceans, right? So most of the part of the earth is covered with water, and then land. So the thickness of the crust, it depends on the place where it is. The thickness of the crust, like 5 to 8 kilometers, it will be beneath the oceans, and 35 kilometer under the continental landmass. Now, what elements make up the crust? That is silicon, aluminium, and magnesium. Okay, and it is denoted with Si, Al, and Mg. Okay, these are the chemical names of these elements. Okay, The main component of the continental landmass are silicon and aluminium, and it is called Cl. Okay, Si of silicon and Al of aluminium, that is Cl. So the continental landmass, the main components are silicon and aluminium, and it is also referred to as Cl. The oceanic crust is called Sima as it is made up of silicon and magnesium, Si of silicon and Ma of magnesium. The density of the crust is 3 gram per cubic centimeter. So, you will be one more information for you, that the oceanic crust is denser than the continental crust. So, these are the information about the crust. Now we'll move to mantle. The layer below the crust is called mantle. So, as I told you, mantle lies between the crust and the core. Okay. So, the layer below the crust is called the mantle, and it is 2,900 kilometers thick. So, you can imagine that how thick it is, right? And it is almost made up of silicon, iron and magnesium. So these are the three elements that make up the mantle. Okay. The density varies between 3.5 and 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. That is, if you compare, you can see that the density of mantle is more than the density of crust. The mantle consists of two layers, the upper mantle and lower mantle. As you can see in the picture, that is, the mantle has upper part of the mantle and the lower part of the mantle. When we go for the temperature, what will be the temperature of the mantle? We will see that the upper mantle is 870 degrees centigrade and the lower mantle has a temperature of 2200 degrees centigrade. Okay, so you see, if you compare, you can see that the lower mantle has maximum temperature. Why it has maximum temperature? Because it's very near to the liquid outer core, and there is information about the liquid outer core that it is very hot. Okay, the liquid outer core is very hot. The temperature is like the temperature of the surface of the sun. Okay, the temperature is so much that is the temperature of the surface of the sun. Now the mantle is in semi-solid state. One more information about mantle is that it is in semi-solid state. It's not a solid state or liquid state, it's semi-solid. It's not totally solid, not totally liquid, it is semi-solid. Okay. Now we will move to core. The innermost layer of the earth is called the core. Now, as we move inside the structure of the earth, as we go deep inside the structure of the earth, we come to know that the innermost layer of the earth is called the core. And as I told you earlier, that the core is again divided into liquid outer core and solid inner core. The thickness is about 3,500 kilometers. So you can imagine what is the thickness. It is the maximum among the crust mantle. Okay, among the crust, mantle and core, the maximum thickness is with core, right? Now, it is made up of nickel, iron and is known as knife, Ni of nickel and Fe of iron. The density is about 11 gram per cubic centimeter. So, if you compare, again you will see that the density of core is the maximum. Okay, the density is 11 gram per cubic centimeter and it is divided into the outer core and the inner core, as we have discussed earlier. The outer core has a temperature of 3700 degrees centigrade and is in molten state. So, you can see here liquid outer core and this is in molten state. The inner core has a temperature of about 5000 degrees centigrade but is still in a solid state. You can see the temperature is more, but still the inner core is found to be in a solid state. Why? Because of the extreme pressure exerted by the weight of the rocks that lie above it. So, because of the weight of the rocks, the inner core temperature, although its temperature is very high, but it is in solid state. Okay, so now we get a proper idea about the different layers of the inside of the earth, right? The crust, the mantle, and the core. Now you have to do one activity in your copy. You just make 3 columns. Write one in one column crust, second mantle, and third one core, and then you have to note down the important points. Like first you have to mention that this is the crust is the outermost layer, mantle is the layer between the crust and the core, and core is the innermost layer. Second, you will write about the thickness. Third, you will write about the elements that form that crust, mantle, and core. Fourth point, you will add as the what is the density. Okay, like this you just form the in a tabular form, and you can write the different information about crust, mantle, and core. So whenever you go through that information, then you will have a proper idea. There will be a recap of all the information. Okay, now we will move to the next part, that is rocks and minerals. Okay, rocks and minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring inorganic substances found in the earth's crust. Okay, and they contain a single or a combination of elements. So minerals may be found in a single or a combination of elements, as a single element or a combination of elements. They have a definite chemical composition. So they are made up of a definite chemical composition and physical properties. So whatever the elements are found in minerals, they have their own physical properties and composition, chemical compositions. They may be metallic like iron and copper, or non-metallic like mica and sulfur. Energy materials like coal and petroleum, and even energy materials like coal and petroleum. Minerals have a wide range of color, hardness, texture, and luster. Okay, so what minerals, this is one property of minerals, that they can be found in different range of colors, hardness, texture is different for each of the other each of different minerals, and luster means shine. Okay, so it also depends on the kind of minerals what their shine or texture will be. One more information is that diamond is the hardest mineral while talc is the softest. So you should remember this, that the hardest mineral found on earth is diamond and the softest is talc. Now, so these are the information about minerals. Now we'll move towards rocks. What are rocks? Okay, so rocks are actually the combinations of various minerals and include all the solid materials of the earth's crust. Okay, so rocks are actually the combination of minerals. Okay, various minerals. We have learnt about minerals, and now what are rocks? Rocks are the combination of various minerals. Now, they do not have definite chemical composition. As we read for minerals, they have a definite chemical composition, but for rocks, they don't have a definite chemical composition. Some rocks contain accumulations of minerals in large quantities which can be extracted economically. Such rocks are called ores. Now, one more term you learn here in this chapter is ores. What are ores? So, ores are actually the rocks which has the accumulation of minerals in large quantities, and it is possible that we can extract these minerals from these rocks. Okay. So, now you got the term ore. Okay. Now, magnetite is an ore of iron and bauxite is an ore of aluminium. So, magnetite is an ore of iron, means iron is being extracted from magnetite and aluminium is extracted from bauxite. Okay. The type of landforms, drainage and soil found in region depend upon the type of rocks present there. Okay. So, these are the information about rocks and minerals. So, if you go through this paragraph, you will get a clear idea and the difference what the rocks and minerals are. Okay. So, we will take a pause today till here. In my next class, I will discuss about the types of rocks and rock cycle. Okay, you please read the chapter and form that, as I told you, form that tableau form, and in the next class we will continue with the chapter. Thank you.